Lorry Man. The lorry driver was heading south over the Dalvermoor Road towards the Cairngaunt. His final destination was Madrid. He had decided to travel through the night to get a head start. It was well after midnight, and he had been speaking with his wife on the phone just a few minutes earlier. He was heading across the Mortmore Moor, where there's no mobile signal at all. Most people, for that reason, couldn't travel over the Dalvermoor overnight. As he approached a narrow part of the road with tall trees at either side, his headlights showed that a tree had fallen over the carriageway ahead, blocking his progress forward. It would be some task to reverse back 10 miles, and so he stopped about 50 yards from the fallen tree, got out of his cab, and walked towards the obstacle. It was around Bonnier. Lorry Man was isolated on his own, and he had no phone signal. He had left his keys in the ignition. From the light coming from his truck headlamps, he examined the heavy tree trunk that was stretched completely over the single-track road. As he looked around at a fallen tree to see if he could somewhere move it, he thought that the lights from his vehicle perceptibly dimmed. He had switched his engine off out of the west as heathen to keep the lights going. He thought perhaps that the battery was getting low, and so he walked back towards his cab to start the engine up again and get some charge into the batteries, and then maybe make a phone call. He was presuming he had a mobile signal, but didn't have much local knowledge about this stretch of road. As he walked back to his cab, he could hear the gentle bleating of an alarm coming from the dashboard. On entering the cab, he saw that there was, in fact, no keys in the ignition, and that was the reason for the gentle bleating sound. This surprised him, as he felt sure he had left the keys there. He got out of the cab and walked around, checking his pockets for his lorry keys. And then, about 20 yards away, he saw them on the ground, sparkling in the light of his headlights. He must have dropped him absent-mindedly while he was walking around to check the fallen tree. It occurred to him that he hadn't noticed that there had been much in the way of strong winds about, and there were no signs of any other dead people in the round on the road. In fact, it was flat calm as he made the steps to pick up his keys from the ground. As he came closer to the keys, they appeared to move, almost as if they were being dragged along by a piece of wire. The keys were slowly moving over the belt and into the edge of the boot. He started to panic a bit and instinctively followed the keys that were travelling along the grass. The keys speeded up a bit, and she pursued him, and they were getting out of his reach. Then the ground gave way underneath him. He plunged downwards with a thud, straight into a deep pit. Stunned, he looked up to see a whole bunch of piercing eyes looking down at him from above. They shone a bright light on his face, inspecting their capture.